respect all women as if they were his own mother. Matru Bhakti. The word it is here, Matru Bhakti. As respectful as one is to his mother. Patnyam Ardha Ivatmanaha. Ardha means half of his body. That Lord Shiva also is called Ardhanarishwara. So he has given half of his body to Sati, Parvati. Prajashu Pitravat Snigdaha. Common citizens, how you would treat them as? Like a father, affectionate. Snigdaha means affectionate. Pitravat, affectionate father. Kinkaro Brahmavadinam. Kinkara means servants. As a servant of Brahmavadinam, here is devotees of the Lord who are preaching the glories of the Lord. Normally Brahmavadi means impersonalist. But he is a supreme Brahman, indicating Lord Krishna. Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki, Shri Lakshmi Narsimhadev ki, Shri Gaunithai ki. Very interesting purport Prabhupada mentions here. Many aspects, especially on education. Also how a state should conduct in relation to devotees. What are the duties of state also? So in the beginning of the purport, Prabhupada writes, it's a translation of that famous verse Prabhupada quoted always for whenever the education comes or respecting women comes. The Chanakya sloka. Matravat paradareshu paradravyeshu lostravat atmavat sarva bhuteshu yah pashyatita panditaha. He is a learned man. Prabhupada is saying that should be the standard for education. So we'll go through this purport. So in the Bhagavatam there are 7 famous Saktiya Vaishya avatars are mentioned. The first one is Shesha in Vaikunta. It's Balramji's expansion. Is the incarnation of service attitude, Shesha. Then is Ananta next. He is Dharana Shakti. He is holding the whole universe on his, as his snake on the head, on his head. That is Ananta. Bhudharana Shakti. Next is Brahma. Brahma is Shrujana Shakti or is also Guna Avatar. Srishti Shakti or Shrujana Shakti. He is the third. And the fourth is 4 Kumaras. They are Jnana Shakti. Energy, knowledge. Energy of knowledge. And Bhakti Shakti is Narada Muni. And Prithu Maharaj is Palana, Praja Palana Shakti. Incarnation of Praja Palana Shakti. That means ruling the citizens. Maintaining the citizens. And the last is in the famous ones, that is Parashuram. He is Dushtanashana. Shakti Avaishya Avatar. He is Dushta Damana or Dushta Nashana. So he is subduing the wicked or all the people who are creating trouble. So in this, Prithu Maharaj is very famous for his Prajapalana Shakti. Maintaining the citizens. That's why we see in the next chapter, all the citizens are going to Prithu Maharaj when there is no more production from the earth. They were not lazy, but they are trying their best, they are endeavoring, but still they are not getting any food grains. They are all working hard, still they are not getting. So then they got approach Prithu Maharaj. So that is the time the king, he chases Mother Earth in the form of a cow, and then Later we'll see. So I'll take two sections in this purport. One is about education. What is real education? Prabhupada meant. That's what Prabhupada began with, Matruvat Paradareshu. And what is real education? Also we'll see. And what is our responsibility in that. Also we'll see how he conducted himself as servant of devotees who are spreading the glory of the Supreme Lord. So, Matruvat Paradareshu, Paradravyeshu Lostravat. Here it is said, he would respect all women as if they were his own mother. Why that much respect is there for our mother? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, correct. Mother has taken a lot of trouble for to raise child, even to hold Garbhame. 9 months. 9 months she has to carry. And what are all troubles they go through, even during that 9 months also is, they get tired and so much troubles. And after that, the child is born, for almost 2 years, they don't get any proper sleep because child wakes up any time. They lose their sleep. So much sacrifice they do selflessly. It is. They do it for the child. They forgo their sleep and they take care. And also mother is the first guru for the child. She is the one who gives the culture and all the basic knowledge the child has to in the progressive growth from the beginning. So that's why one has one compared to even father, one has so much affection and respect for mother because her sacrifices one cannot repay so easily. Mother's, whatever she has done for the child. That's why we have that natural affection for respect for our mother. So here Prithu would display that similar respect for every woman, any woman other than his wife. So that should be, that is what is expected from every citizen also, from us also. And it is not very easy to see every woman as own mother. Do you think it is easy? It's not easy. Yeah, because of the education system, also the culture, even the home culture now, or education, the society itself is, we are, I don't know which direction we are heading. It's almost like 1964-65 of West is coming in India now. Means the hippie culture is going to be, maybe within 10-15 years we can see that. Because so much drugs also is coming, so many. So we have that natural affection for a mother. That same thing we should try and see in other women also. So there are 3 things. How can we see that? Or why don't we see? Is because we don't see their connection, means connection to their protector, whatever stage they are at maybe. Chanakya says that verse, which is most misunderstood verse from Chanakya. That is, yes, bro. No, woman doesn't have freedom. Stri swatantriyam arhati. That is the last line of the verse. Many people know only this verse, this line of that verse. So before that there are 3 lines. That is, Pita rakshati yavvane Bharta rakshati, Pita rakshati kaumare, Bharta rakshati yavvane, and Stavire putre, in the old age, it comes. Stavire putre. Do you remember? Anybody remember? What is that? Kaushakti bro? Stavire putre, it comes. You can Google out, you can find it. So the first line tells about Pita rakshati kaumare. When the woman is, say young, means childhood, till the age of marriage, is protected by father. And the next is Bharta rakshati yavane. When they are young, they married. So they are under the protection of the able husband. And in old age, that is Rakshanti Stavire Putre, Putra. Rakshanti Stavire Putra. Means when they are old age, grown up, so that time they are under the protection of the son, older son. And the last line says, Na stri swatantram arhati. So they take only this out of context. The literal meaning of that line is, Na stri swatantram arhati means, Stri doesn't have any, should not have freedom. Swatantra means freedom, independence. So women should not have independence. If any common sense person can understand, the first three lines are talking about the protection of the woman. Why should there be the fourth line which is saying there should not be freedom? The actual meaning of that is, they should be protected when they are young by father, in the childhood, young by husband, old by, when they are old by son. And they should never be left anytime unprotected. So that is what is that last line says. They should never be left unprotected at any situation. That independence there is, swatantriam there is, they should never be left unprotected at any point. So that's the most misunderstood verse, and people quote and they burn Manu Samhita also for these reasons. So why did I go there? That verse. Yes. So one is that we don't see their connection to under whom they are protected right now. So when we see a woman, so we see that their connection to, if they are young, unmarried, they are under the protection of father, husband, or whatever. So if you fail to see that, that means you are thinking that it is my object of enjoyment. So we should see that as Ishavashamidam Sarvam also says, that we can apply here also, that is not your property. That is the property of somebody else. So when we try to, whether subtly or physically enjoy, then we are called thief. So we don't see that connection. And higher than that, we should see that their connection to Jiva, their connection to Krishna, and they are ultimately under Krishna. Of course, before that comes the king. King is responsible for protecting them. Even if they don't have father, son, husband. So they come naturally under the protection of the king. So king takes care of the people, should actually take care, who doesn't have any shelter, because he is a shelter for all the praja, all the living beings under his kingdom. So above that is Lord Krishna, who is the ultimate father of, what is that verse in Bhagavad Gita says? Pradapita, Aham Bija. So he is the father of all living entities. So we should see that connection to that person's connection with Krishna. Then also, you see that they are not anyway our property to enjoy, either gross or subtle. So when we fail to see that connection, then we get that desire to enjoy that as a sense object. So it's always better to see them in connection to Krishna, or they are under whose protection. And then it is, of course, that theoretically we see, but what we can do practically is we should draw boundary line. So boundary for others to not to enter, protection from women also, and we also don't cross our boundary we have. So one devotee was mentioning, he had gone to West for preaching. So he was mentioning that he had to go, and he landed there, and then one devotee who was the president, she's Mataji, she had come to pick up him, that brahmachari, saffron devotee. So then he said, "Oh, why did you come? So you could have sent somebody, some young devotee to come, and some other devotee." She said, "No, actually everybody is busy, nobody is there, so that's why I had come to pick you. And then also we can talk and discuss about the programs lined up." Then he didn't know what to do. He's new. Then he agreed, okay. They went. It was around 40 minutes drive or something. Then on the way she said, evening there is a program which we need to travel 2 hours journey. That also I am only driving because nobody else is there. So he didn't know it's new also, that place. So nobody else is there, practically nobody else is there to drive. He also doesn't know driving, he can't drive. Then, okay, yeah. Then he went, and after that program, whatever happened. So next day, that Mataji's husband, he came and told this Prabhuji, "Oh, it's nice that it's interesting to see that you are roaming with my wife in the city around." Of course, that Mataji was 15, 20 years older to that brahmachari who was 40. That means she might be 60 around. But he was in a joking way, he was telling. Then the devotee said, yes, the devotee, you should. Then he explained, actually, this is what situation, bro, that nobody was there, that's why she told that. Then he said, but still, you should have your boundary. Because if you let your boundary reduce, if you let them in, then that boundary will become very small and it is not safe and respectful. So you should have your boundary. You should not allow. You should be clear about your boundary because you are a brahmachari. So you should have your boundary. Then after that he made a statement. He said, if maybe I should not tell that, then you will come to know. So he said that you should have a boundary. So we should have our boundary. We should know how much we can go and what is our safe area and how much we should let in, especially women in our dealings, how much we should. Because if you are clear how much we should also go and they come, then we are safe. It's not only brahmachari, anybody it is. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi for all. So that is the principle. So when we have clear boundary, then we are safe and they are safe. That is, yes. What? Yeah, he asked his spiritual master. His spiritual master told him that whenever such a situation is there, which is means unavoidable, there is nobody else, then you should call up that senior devotee where we are reaching to that destination. You tell him that this is the situation that nobody is there and we are coming. I'm coming with this. Mataji is driving us. So the journey takes 45 minutes or 2 hours. you just call, no, I am just starting journey. So after reaching, immediately you should go and inform him that, no, I have reached. And you meet him and tell him. Why? So that, no, in the 2-hour journey, it became 3 hours, means 1 hour you roamed somewhere else and came. So it should not be, nobody should have any doubt or something where they went in between, nobody knows. So we should clarify that after reaching there. So of course in India it is not a problem. So in the outside India it is, because it's a common for them. They don't feel that much. So that is mother. And time is very less. So regard to this, how one sees a woman as all women as mother. So I heard how Shivaji Maharaj, when he conquered the Kalyan fort in Bombay, he didn't go, but he had his Sonadev, his the warrior Sonadev. He went and he conquered that fort. And then there was in 1965 or 60s, sorry, 55. Sorry, not 1666 or 1665, 67. So in the Kalyan fort, so he conquered, and there was a Maulana Ahmad's daughter-in-law, who was the sister of Aurangzeb and daughter of Shah Jahan, I think. So she was very beautiful, and they escaped, and she was caught. She was prisoned. And then that Sunday, he thought that she's so beautiful and young, so she could be best gift for Shivaji Maharaj. So he had sent her to Pune. Shivaji Maharaj there in Pune. So he sent, and then when they brought her, and when he saw, the immediate response for Shivaji Maharaj was that, how nice it would have been, if my mother also would have been, same fair as you. Of course, he was seeing her as his mother. That's why he could say, my mother also would have been such a fair. Then he said, immediately chastised that soldiers who brought her, and then sent a message to Sonadev that this should be the first and last mistake you have done. In future, if any such thing happens in any kind of any way disrespecting a woman, then the punishment will be death sentence. It doesn't matter how it is. So then he sent her back to her home with a decorated palanquin, with well protected. And then he said that, no, I consider you as my mother, something like that. Then he had sent her back. So in Shivaji Maharaj's time, it was very clear that this principle was like, it is something engraved on the stone. No woman would be disrespected or mistreated. Their dignity will be always protected, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their religion also. Shivaji Maharaj also had Muslim ministers, Muslim people under his some important positions. Saints, actually, Muslim saints. So he would allow even Muslims also to follow their religion. He was not like that. And he would respect women. So during the riot recently in the sense, I think it was after Shivaji Maharaj, maybe 100 or 200 years during British time also, when there would be a riot between Muslim and friction, Hindus, the Muslim women would go and take shelter of Hindus' home where they have Shivaji Maharaj in the outside door they keep, because they know that anybody who is follower of Shivaji will not, they give shelter, they will not mistreat or kill, harm women. So that was how Shivaji Maharaj made the rule respecting a woman. And that time, during his time, there would be no public dances by any kind of women song, because that is not, it could, I think it was only for Lord, or I don't know it was there or not, but there was no public performance, dance or singing, because that is not very respectful for women. They are dancing in front of so many people. So that was also not allowed. So that's how he treated. The same way we see here also Prithu Maharaj is treating, saying that he will treat every woman except his own wife as his own mother. So then his wife, the second part, the translation says is, he would treat his wife as Ardha Ivatmanaha, of himself. So in generally a Vedic cultured man, he doesn't see his own wife as even as object of sense gratification or sense enjoyment. So that is when a person cultured or grown up in a Vedic culture, he would not see his own wife also as object of sense gratification. What to speak of seeing other women as object of sense gratification. And wife is like a Sahadharmini, that's what also the same meaning. Ardha Ivatmana also means Sahadharmini or Ardhangini. Because without her, husband cannot perform any sacrifice also. That's why Lord Ram also, when Sita was kidnapped, so Maya Sita, so he had made a golden Sita for doing sacrifice even in the forest. That's what I. And Lord Shiva also gave himself of his self. That's why he's called Ardhanarishwara, Lord Shiva. That's how he would treat. That means he would give that much due respect and dignity to his wife also. Then the third one is Prajashu Pitravat Snigdha. So he would treat his Praja as his own children, like affectionate father treats. So that we'll see in the next chapter elaborately. But that should be the attitude of any leader. So you should be knowing what is good for the Praja or children, not what they want, like nowadays politicians. They are neither affectionate, nor they know what is good for their Praja. So during elections they give some drink or some biryani, chicken biryani, whatever. So with that they are happy, roaming 2-3 days in the election campaign and then voting and then finished. So after that they don't care for the citizens. They will come and fall at your feet before elections. After that, even if you fall 100 times at their feet, they will not do any single job for you. Because the leaders are not educated in this way of, they are not Raja Rishis, or they are not, they don't have any spiritual education. I'll come to that part. We have only 3 minutes. So Prabhupada concludes the first paragraph or the first section of this purport with this should be the standard of real education. So real education is Matravat Paradayashu. That's what Prabhupada mentioned many times. But actually, of course, that education is not there in any of our modern education system anywhere. So what we have is only the education which is studying matter. That also, what are the consequences of that manipulating that matter also, they don't have control. It is like that. You heard that story of in the Panchatantra. The 4 students, friends, they pass out from the Gurukul and they wanted to experiment their knowledge. So they go into the forest and they see a pile of bones. And each one of them were expert. 3 of them especially. The 4th one was not expert, but in that science, but he had a common sense. What is good he knows what is good and what is not good for. So these three, the one is expert at assembling the bones, and making it to the proper, whatever the animal it was. And the second one was good in giving flesh, bone, flesh, blood, mucus, whatever to that bone structure. And the third one, he could revive the life of dead. Fourth one, he was not knowing anything. So they started, and this is the chance for us to experiment our knowledge. So one person assembled a bone, and then second came and he gave the external body. Then the third one was about to give life. Then the fourth one said, "Hey, it looks like a lion. Don't do it, because it will attack us if it comes to life. So it's very dangerous animal." Then he said, "Oh, you fool! You are not educated properly. You don't know what it is. Let us, you just shut up your mouth and see what we do." Then he says, "Okay, just give me 1 minute." And then he climbs the tallest tree, that fourth one, intelligent. And then they revive the life, and then lion comes back to life, and then has breakfast, lunch, dinner, all at once. So this is what is, one more thing, the artificial intelligence which is coming. AI. Science is not bad, but if we don't know how to use it, if it is not in good hands, then this kind of disaster. If those three people had some common sense, at least, they would have not done that. So similarly, all this technology, if we see that these days they have this bio weapon. So they have created, they have created some bio weapon, and it has spread last 2 years. Now it is similar like this story. The lion came in attacking in their own place. There are piles of dead bodies. They don't have time to, it is taking 3 days for them to wait in queue for burning the dead bodies. So that is the situation. So when the material science, if it is not, of course, the material science should be under the hands of somebody who has a spiritual knowledge. I'll take 3 more minutes and I'll complete. If it is not, it will create such a disaster, like with this artificial intelligence. Yesterday we were discussing, so that it will replace all human, whatever manpower. If robots come, recently they have in US here, what is that? Artificial intelligence lawyer, yes, can defend in the court for the accused or whatever. So if it replaces, there is going to be a unemployment. There is going to be loneliness, because everything is possible by robots. Dosa, idli, cleaning, everything. And people will become so frustrated. People will commit suicide also. Of course, I don't know how it is going to be, but I see like that. So then we should have that's why real education is needed. That real education which is lacking, because of that all these problems are coming. So what is real education? So there is ABCD education, which is our kindergarten education, proper says. One is material education, but after that is that real education, kindergarten education, that is Atma Jnana. First understand that you are not this body, you are spirit, soul. So then comes at least next understanding, next level is knowledge of you are not this body, you are soul. And then this Matruvat Paradareshu, then Vidya Vinay. The higher than that Matruvat Paradareshu from Bhagavad Gita is Vidya Vinay Sampanne. So this is spiritual education on the spiritual level. On the social level, that is Matruvat Paradareshu. In the spiritual level, it is Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastani. You see everybody on the equal, because Paramatma, soul is there. And next is, one sees knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Vidya. That is also on the negative, but at least you have the understanding of the Supreme. And above that is knowledge of devotional service to Vishnu. Even more than that is knowledge of devotional service to Lord Krishna. So this highest knowledge, this is what is lacking in the world. And whose responsibility it is? Who have this? Who has this? So we have that great benediction because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. All of us are getting this highest knowledge. And it is also the paramparas and especially Prabhupada's request that we should take this true knowledge, real knowledge, which is the most dire need for the world. Whatever way, whatever our capacity, we should try to take this and spread. So that way we can try to repay whatever we are getting. We cannot repay, but we can endeavor at our maximum, whatever our maximum capacity. We can try, like Prabhuji, Swarnaguru Prabhu, they say, saying that we should chase. What is that? Not chase. Chase the rhinos is that, and catching the leaders, preaching to the leading community, people who are on that level. Then it becomes. Also, Bhagavad Gita is actually meant for that, for the leaders. But everybody can have access. It is not they are denied the other section. But it will be very fast and effective. And like chasing rhinos, Shyam Sundar Prabhu has written with Prabhupada. There could be many more. Now second volume is coming. There is already other volumes by other devotees. Means they have done a lot of preaching. They have done. And there could be many more volumes of chasing rhinos, even in our life, when we try to endeavor ourselves in that direction of spreading this, taking this message. Okay, I will pause here. There are 2 more sections, but it will take time. So today we saw how in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned Matruvat Paradadeshu, how one should respect a woman as mother. And we also saw that how we should draw boundaries so that it is safe for us and safe for him. That is respect. And also we saw we should see that their connection with, they are always under protection. We should see that either that 3 levels are the king or the supreme lord. So then we don't see them as object of sense gratification. Also, we saw that how Shivaji Maharaj would treat women. And then the last we saw this, what is real education. It is our responsibility to spread. Because I see every one of us seeing in the world, people are very proud to propagate. Yesterday Prabhuji was mentioning. They are so proud to propagate all the apadharmas or which are the principles, good car, whatever, pan, cigarette, drinks, all the celebrities. They are so proud. Even the people smoke on the bike or whatever. Openly, publicly they are doing. They are not scared. But in Kali Yuga it is like, those who know, those who have the best thing, so they are inside, they don't. Chanakya says, मुझे डर नहीं है दुष्टों की दुष्टता का, लेकिन मुझे डर है सज्जनों की निष्क्रियता का. So I don't fear the wickedness of the wicked, but I fear the sajjanon ki nishkriyata ka. Silence of the sajjan means able men or good people. So we have that opportunity or facility. We are getting that knowledge and facilities. So if we become, we are in the path of becoming sajjan. There is one sajjan who created violence, but we should be the other side. So we can try our best under the guidance of our superiors. Then that will be pleasing to our Guru Parampara and Krishna. So that is what we can try from our side. So I'll pause here. Sorry for taking more time. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any comment to